We are a manufacturer and a distributor of high quality products, furniture, and other equipment for terminals, passenger terminals, mainly airports, but it is really important. And in fact, airport terminal operators spend a lot of time carefully selecting this and planning for it, because there is it's a very high touch amenity. Passengers are physically experiencing the product all the time. And if they notice if it's comfortable or not, if it's in good shape or if it's in bad shape, if it's dirty, if it's clean, if they can be with their family comfortably, if they can work, if they can consume their food and beverage, they notice it because it really impacts their environment.
It's a gate lounge, so we want the passengers to feel as comfortable in our gate lounges as they would at home. So we've really been focused on how can we make that lounge environment in the terminal space.
And as airports, we know that folks are stressed out. They're, trying to hurry up and get to the gate. Everyone's trying to get to the gate. And so the importance of being able to provide a comfortable space that they're going to dwell just for a minute there.
Think of it as a very big living room in the sense that when you walk down a terminal, you're looking at an awful lot of furniture, and it does have a visual impact, but also it's very much a tactile experience.
We're going to see about 11 million passengers through our facility this year. And when you think about what that is on a daily basis, we're bumping 50,000. That's pretty full for an NFL stadium. So we're hosting an NFL game, in theory, every single day at an airport. NFL stadiums don't even do that. So knowing that Arconas provides such quality and durability in the product is really critical for the success of the product and longevity of the way that they'll be used in the space.
This is a high impact public area, so it has to be durable. It has to be able to withstand the environment and the rigors of it.
So the interesting thing is, before we actually moved into the new terminal, we actually looked at 3 different types of furniture. They weren't all from Arconas. And then we put them in the public area and we let people sit in the chairs, and we looked at people's reaction and surveyed the people independently. So what you really want to do is look at how easy is it for our custodial people to clean it and maintain it. The other reason was why we chose Arconas we use the Flyaway brand. And the nice thing about it is their cushions, they actually are covered. We could actually take the covers off depending if we didn't go with the color that we already chosen. So if somebody came up with a better color for the terminal, it wouldn't have cost us a lot of money, where in some of these hard seats, you actually have to take the seats out. The brand we chose from Arconas, you're actually able just to move the cushions.
The actual design of the type of furniture that goes into a terminal today is very different from what it was, say, even 10 years ago. For many years, it was traditionally a bunch of tandem seating, row upon row of very utilitarian type seating that was really, the function was to seat as many people close to the gate as possible in a passenger boarding lounge. We have a lot of wood and sculptural type seating now. Everything has power in it, which was not the case 10 years ago. So we have a lot of options for that. Another big trend is counters, charging counters. People love to be able to work at a counter.
Everybody relies on their phone. The phone has your ticket, the phone has your gate, it has all the information for the passenger. Passenger relies on the phone so much that we have to, as an airport entity, have to think about how can we accommodate the power consumption for the passenger.
So many passengers now have multiple devices. They do a lot of work on those devices in the terminal. And we just want to make sure that we give them that workspace that they need to get their work done. Sometimes the flights are late and they need to get on the computer and send emails.
So what you try to do is you make the power in the furniture as modular as you can, because who knows what we're going to be charging with in 5 years from now. Technology evolves at a much more rapid rate than furniture. So you need to have that ability to swap it out, to future-proof it a little bit. And so that is something that we put first and foremost into our product.
I think is really important, and the flexibility and functionality of the way those power boxes are attached and changeable as we head into the future and USB-A becomes more antiquated and USB-C becomes more common, we can switch out those boxes so they're USB-C only.
We also have spots at the end in some of the areas where somebody with a wheelchair can back into and plug in. So those are some of the things like you were saying about handicap accessible and stuff, which they take into consideration.
We're looking at a small area that families could have a sort of a lounge type of, a family room type of environment, that they can have their own peace and quiet, or their own privacy amongst themselves with their children, or as a couple. They could be able to share with it, and then yet be able to be a earshot away from the gate to know that something's happening with their plane or getting ready to move on from there.
The key is there isn't one passenger type, right? There, you have business travelers who are looking for a certain experience. You have students, you have elderly, you have people with differing abilities. You've got people with families, and all of them travel a little bit different and have different requirements to deal with whatever they're dealing with, right, before they board the flight. We just did a wonderful project, the DFW, at their new high sea gates, and again, worked with our client, American Airlines there, and they were bringing in this diverse amount of product. We created these almost like park-like areas in certain places where they've brought in some art and new signage. Really, it's trying to create an experience for the passenger before they board their flight. And often, sometimes, like in the case of Newark, creating a sense of place. That they really wanted you to know you weren't in New York, you were in New Jersey. Happy passengers tend to spend more money. Happy passengers board your planes in a much more calm state. It's just a win-win for everybody.